Yo guys, in this video I'm going to give you some beginner tips to help you improve and become a more efficient survivor in Dead by Daylight, so you don't end up looking like the Satyr. The first thing we're going to cover is efficiency. Yeah, what else did you expect? Trying to be as efficient as possible in Dead by Daylight is one of the keys to surviving, and it already starts at the beginning of the match. If you spawn next to a generator with a random teammate, go look for another one and let them work on it alone. If the killer interrupts both of you, you will both have to leave the generator and maybe one of you will even take a hit. If you're working on a different generator by yourself, you can make a lot more progress because the teammate is probably looping the killer after they get chased off the generator. If you're being chased, try to buy as much time as possible, even if you get cornered and think there is no way out. Every second can change the outcome of the match. If you didn't know, this little clause below a survivor's icon mean they're currently being chased by the killer. So timing and efficiency are the keys to escaping, even if a teammate is grieving you. Now we talk about hugging. If you want to create as much distance as possible while looping the killer, you need to hug walls and objectives closely. If you don't, the killer will catch up to you in no time. Your survivor runs at 4.0 meters per second, while most killers run either at 4.4 or 4.6 meters per second. Every wall you hug and every angle you take as tightly as possible can make a huge difference during the chase. Distance. There are a few things you should always keep in mind while you try to maximize the distance between you and the killer. After getting hit, just run and create as much distance as possible for the next 2 seconds. Don't drop a pallet, don't vault, and don't jump off a hill or ledge. These actions kill the momentum from the speed boost you get after being hit. If you're running perks like life, then vaulting after getting a hit is perfectly fine. If you're running balanced landing, dropping from a height is also fine. But without those perks, you're usually better off using the speed boost to gain as much distance as possible. Pallets in DBD aren't just pallets. They are the most important resource in the game, so don't waste them. There are two main types of pallets: safe pallets, often called god pallets, and 50-50 pallets. The environment determines whether a pallet is strong or weak. If a pallet is placed between two small rocks, it's usually not very safe. It's basically a 50-50, whether you will get a hit or not while looping there. In many situations, it's better to drop it immediately and move on to the next loop, rather than trading a health state for a weak pallet. Now compare it to a shack pallet. A shack pallet is usually a strong pallet. You have a large building with a window and 2 entrances. You can loop around the shack, run inside, vault the window, and if the killer gets too close, you can still drop the pallet and rotate to the next tile. That's one of the best ways to waste the killer's time. The next thing is character and perks. If you are a beginner and wondering which character you should level first and which perks you need, here's what I recommend. Meg and Nia are great starting characters because they're free and they come with solid exhaustion perks. Kate Danson has one of the best perks in the entire game: Windows of Opportunity. It lets you see pallets and windows through walls, making looping much easier because you always know where your next resource is. Normally, you want to run one exhaustion perk such as Sprint Burst from Mag, Life from Feng Min, or Balanced Landing from Nia. For your other 3 perk slots, feel free to use whatever you're most comfortable with. So 1 exhaustion perk and 3 perks that fit your playstyle. And when it comes to settings, there are not really many things absolutely required. You can choose whatever graphics and color settings you prefer. However, there is one setting you should definitely enable. You may have noticed streamers with a heartbeat effect around the survivor and wonder if it's a perk. Nope, it's not. Go to accessibility settings and enable heartbeat visual support. This gives you a visual indicator of the killer's terror radius and can be extremely helpful. If you're looking at your loadout, you're probably thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do now? As I mentioned earlier, when talking about perks, a good setup is usually 1 exhaustion perk and 3 perks that fit your playstyle. In the top right corner, you will see your blood point balance. You can spend blood points in the blood web to level up your character and unlock perks, items, add-ons and offerings. You earn blood points every match you play. You can also complete tome challenges for extra blood points, and don't forget to claim your weekly gift in the in-game store, which is around 250k. After leveling up your character, head back to your loadout and choose whatever fits your playstyle. If you want to make flashy plays and go for flashlight saves, equip a flashlight and experiment with different add-ons. If you want to heal yourself or help your teammates recover faster, bring a medkit. If you want to repair generators more quickly or sabotage hooks, take a toolbox. For offerings, you can use something to increase your blood points. Other useful offerings can increase hook distance, improve your luck, or provide other helpful bonuses during the match. Don't worry too much about making the perfect loadout right away. Try different items, add-ons and offerings. Experiment with what feels good. Now let's talk about breaking line of sight. If you never played killer before, there are some things you probably don't know. Whenever a killer performs an animation, like breaking a pallet or vaulting a window, they temporarily lose visual information. That gives you an opportunity to change direction, hide or mind game them, because they can't see what you're doing during the animation. Here's an example. After the killer vaults the window and I break his line of sight. One thing a good survivor should always do is think about the next loop before you need it. Don't stay on a loop longer than you should. If the killer gets too close, you're forced to leave and maybe you even get a hit. So if you have enough distance, just leave the tile and move on to the next one. Know where you're going next is very important. Camera placement. Another thing that is going to help you improve looping the killer is looking behind you during a chase. You don't need to stare at the killer all the time, but checking where he is allows you to make much better decisions and maybe you can mind game him, you never know. Now, one of the most important things in DBD is understanding your teammates. Yep, this can be really painful, I know. Back in the day you couldn't see your teammates' perks, but now you can. This is a huge survivor buff, because it allows you to coordinate much better. For example, if someone is running deliverance, you know they may want to unhook themselves, so you don't have to waste your time. If someone is laying on the ground and you wonder why, he wasn't even in chase, check the perks, they might be running plot twist and planning to pick themselves back up. Always pay attention to what perks your teammates are using and try not to get in the way of their game. And finally, let's talk about the most important thing. Fun. You need to enjoy what you're doing. If you love looping the killer, focus on getting better at chases. If you enjoy escaping and speedrunning generators, focus on efficiency and perk builds. Play the game the way you enjoy it the most and have fun. That's the only way to get better. I hope you enjoyed this video and found at least one thing you can work on. If you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next round.